Hey guys, what's going on? I hope you're all doing well. I'm your host Kylab and welcome to the first episode of 2B2T News. Today I will be talking about the following: Hauses post regarding the future of 2B2T, possible updates and the controversial changes he recently made, how the group Linked Horizon finished another Obsidian Megastructure around spawn, a new project starting around the nether spawn known as Project Bricked, a Squid Games event that recently took place on the server, how players are trying to start the 11th incursion, how a player reached the height border on 2B2T, and lastly a new Elytra Config that lets players travel at 280 kmh. Okay, so our first story is about the future of 2B2T. About a week ago, the official 2Builders2Tools Reddit account made a post stating, "The server will be offline for between 2 to 6 hours as we perform some maintenance and upgrades, and do some preparations for both further 1.18 update testing and for the eventual and inevitable update. The 1.18/update testing will begin to continue hopefully at the end of this month, using the same world as previously stopped on. For the nerds, upgrading the CPU to the new 12900K from the 10900K to DDR5 RAM, a larger NVMe drive setup as the world continues to grow too large. The server is now back online. There may be much shorter frequent offline periods this week, following server restarts." This post triggered some mixed comments from the community. Some people don't think the server will ever update, while others are excited for the update. Apparently, a lot of players have seen a ping increase since House made the hardware changes, but players also say they don't feel a noticeable difference in their connection. This is quite strange, and I'll post an update if and when we get more information on the topic. Our second story is about a group that goes by the name of Linked Horizon. You may know them from the giant obsidian wall around 2B2T spawn. Well, they have just completed the roof to the wall, and in doing so they have successfully created one of the largest structures on the server. The wall and roof contain roughly 21 million blocks of obsidian. While a lot of work was automated with baritone and highway tools, there was still a lot of manual work required, especially for the roof. The builders could only hold a certain amount of obsidian at one time, and they couldn't place e-chests at the top of the world, so they had to manually build down to mine duped e-chests for the obsidian. Over 50 people contributed, but the project still took 6 months to complete, with the top few contributors placing a large amount of the obsidian. This is some crazy dedication. I personally wouldn't have had the patience to place even 10,000 blocks, never mind the millions placed by the top contributors. A new group of players by the name of Project Bricked have gathered with the goal of filling in the entire nether spawn region. One of the leaders released this post stating their goals. "I have kept this project semi-private up to this point, but I am pleased to finally publicly announce what we are doing and how you can get involved. The goal of Project Bricked is to fill nether spawn with obby. This is in preparation for the increase of new players we are experiencing from the Tommy Innit video, and to deter the increase in queue we have experienced in the past couple of days. If you are interested in helping, you can gain access to the private and trusted channels by boosting the server or looking for us at spawn and helping out. All of the materials will be provided to you." I'm not sure how successful this will be, but nonetheless I think it is an interesting project. As always, I have linked all of the group's Discord servers in the video's description, and if anyone is interested in any of these projects, make sure to check them out. Recently, a group of players grouped together and built Squid Game themed minigames. They then invited anyone on 2B2T to come and compete for a big prize. There were 3 games and only one winner. After an epic duel, the last player standing claimed his reward, which consisted of 25 dubs of duplicated loot and 1 month of priority queue sponsored by the event organizers. I actually made a full video on the event on my main channel, so if anyone is interested, that will be linked in the video's description. The group is busy planning a third Squid Games event, and I have been told that the prize for the third event may consist of around 70 dubs of duplicated loot and 2 months of priority queue. Make sure to join their Discord for more information on the next event if you would like to participate. Speaking of participating, if you are enjoying this video, please consider leaving a like and maybe even consider subscribing for more 2B2T news videos. Yet another group has formed. Originally they called themselves the 11th Incursion, but they just rebranded to the Republic of 2B2T. They don't have any announcements in their server explaining what they intend to do, but they do have a few posts including the spawn ops will continue as planned along with other projects. We look to found a republic of any incorporated 2B2Tiers with a common interest. We will hold votes to determine what will be done next and who will serve. To become a senator who makes these decisions, you must get somebody to vouch for you who is higher up in the hierarchy of wealth and fortune. As far as I am aware, they are going around spawn and killing new players who joined after watching Tommy Innett's 2B2T videos. They are also fixing up old spawn bases and using them as outposts. I think it's an interesting project and we will have to see what else they get up to in the future. A player by the name of Futson1 was the first player to travel into literal space on 2B2T. He used a crazy entity speed / boat fly config and managed to ride a donkey to the world height border at 30 million blocks high. Personally, I had no idea that a height border even existed, but I think this is an amazing accomplishment for all 2B2T players. Unfortunately, after getting kicked from the server, a relog placed him back on the ground while his donkey is still slowly falling from space. Others attempted to travel to the border, but unfortunately the config was patched by House, stranding a few players high in the sky. The original stream is linked below for anyone that wants to see their original reactions when they completed the mission. And lastly, a crazy Elytra config has been leaked. This was a private config that apparently took a few months to perfect, but players eventually managed to recreate it after gathering screenshots from live streams in Discord. They then apparently started selling the config to other players for $300 US. Once the original group found out about this, they all agreed to leak the config themselves and prevent people from spending real world money on the config. At the time of making this video, the config still works on 2B2T. In order for it to work, players need to use both Future and Lambda or Cami Blue. I recommend using Future and Lambda. Pause the screen now and copy these settings. There are also commands in the description that you can copy and paste to recreate these settings. In Lambda, you can right-click the specific pitch and type in the following numbers. This config unfortunately only works on highways, but it is still really fast and very helpful. If you need to travel anywhere, I would suggest doing it now as this may be patched pretty soon. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. If you play on 2B2T, or even if you're just interested in the absurd things that happen on the server, make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss anything important. Thanks for watching 2B2T News. I have been your host Kylab, and as always, it has been your boy Kylab. Peace in the Middle East.